There are so many characters in Jujutsu Kaisen, and with there being so many characters in the series, one question pops up in the mind of the fans, and that is, who are the strongest characters in the series? And today we are here to discuss that exactly. But before we do start the video, guys, subscribe to the channel and like this video if you want more JJK content. But without any delay, let's begin the video of top 10 most strongest character in Jujutsu Kaisen. So we're gonna begin the list with the top 10. At the bottom of the list is Yorozu. Yorozu was incarnated in Megumi Sister's body for the Culling Games arc. Yorozu was a powerful sorcerer of the Heian era, the golden age of Jujutsu. She made her a name for herself in the time period where the strongest fighter boasted incredible curse techniques. She was on par with Beast Sorcerer despite her technique being far less efficient in its consumption of cursed energy than average. However, as a battle-hardened veteran of the Heian era, Yorozu used her combat experience to figure out a way to work around these deficiencies. She invented clever solutions to her problem that resulted in fighting style that bested the 5 empty generals of the Heian era, gathering Yorozu official recognition from the Fujiwara clan. In terms of cursed energy capacity and output, Yorozu was on par with the greatest sorcerer of the Heian era. Her technique was energy inefficient, but she found the most effective creations and manipulated them using the advanced application of her curse technique. This included the autonomous cursed energy that controlled her liquid metal. Her innate technique is construction. Depending on her familiarity with the training, Yorozu could recreate any substance she recognized except for cursed tools. Creating something from nothing uses a lot of cursed energy, making this technique a very energy inefficient compared to other cursed techniques. Insect wings. Yorozu can construct 2 pairs of insect wings on her back that allow her to fly at high speeds. Her other technique is liquid metal. Having constructed several kinds of combat equipment, Yorozu used her experience to develop a liquid metal as her primary weapon on her way to become the veteran sorcerer. The liquid metal has changeable volume with stable physical properties due to the semi-autonomous cursed energy manipulating it. The insect armor that we saw her use against Sukuna, Yorozu uses a liquid metal to create a flesh armor specializes in appropriating numerous insect biofunction. She saw a solution to her cursed technique's weakness in efficiency of insects. The greatly enhanced her strength, speed, and combat durability, improving all of her close-range combat abilities. She could also manage mid-range combat by using to control liquid metal outside the armor. The true spear is Yorozu's greatest technique beside her domain. Under normal circumstances, a perfect spear is thought to be impossible to create. Yorozu was able to do so by shaping it into a liquid metal. A true spear has no contact area and generates infinite pressure as a result. So Yorozu's perfect spear, if you pretty much touch it, you're a goner. You're not going to be existing anymore. Yorozu's domain is mostly blank space, although with several oversized organic structures floating in midair. Within that resembles the disembodied brains and gatherings of insects. The sheer effect of the domain applies to Yorozu's constructed items, particularly her true sphere, and destroying anything caught in the domain should Yorozu will it. Now on to our number 9, Yuki, the Star Rage. Yuki's innate technique allows her to visually mask to herself and her Shikigami Garuda. The mask added to Yuki and Garuda's attack gave them devastating destructive force capable of effortlessly exercising a special great curse in her fight against Kenjaku. and her speed is able to keep up with Kenjaku, which in itself is a feat. At last, he can create a freaking black hole capable of destroying the entire planet. Yuki is also capable of using reverse curse technique to heal herself. She had used this during her fight in Master Tengen's realm after she was severely damaged by the zero-hit effect of Kenjaku's domain. Garuda is a Shikigami that Yuki uses is directly connected to her innate technique. By having visual mass added to it by the Star Rage, Garuda becomes a curse tool for Yuki to utilize in a battle. Garuda can also fight and restrain Yuki's opponents independently, creating situations where they can fight side by side. And just as a side note, Yuki can use her domain expansion as well, though it's not shown in the manga specifically. Just giving it out that the Yuki could use her domain expansion. On to number 8. At number 8, we have Hikari and Uraume. As the battle is currently going on, I can't rank one above the other, but for right now, we'll rank them both at number 8. Hikari is widely recognized as one of the most powerful students at Jujutsu Tokyo High. Satoru Gojo, the undisputed strongest sorcerer in the world, believes that Hikari and Yuta will have the potential to rival his power one day. As Yuti stated, all of his senpai have stated that Hikari is exceptionally strong. Yuta even believes that Hikari is stronger than the two of them when he's worked up. As one of the Jujutsu High students with the most potential, it is likely that Hikari possesses extraordinary levels of cursed energy. He is very adept at enforcing his physical attacks with cursed energy, allowing him to deliver devastating blows. Hikari cursed energy apparently has a much rougher texture to it than the others. He was told by Gojo himself that his cursed energy has an edge, giving his attacks a blunt, sharp cutting effect to it, regardless of how much or how little force Hikari puts behind his blows. His opponents will be struck with a sharp pain regardless. Yuji compares it to being hit with a serrated bat. However, Hikari's main power comes in his domain expansion, Ideal Death Gamble, a pachinko-themed domain expansion that creates an environment resembling a train station that hosts a game of chance. Kinji's primary goal is to line up 3 of the same numbers to hit a jackpot, with only 1 by 239 chance of doing so. Hitting the jackpot of Ideal Death Gamble grants Kinji a bonus unlimited cursed energy for 4 minutes straight, the exact duration of Private Pure Love Train themed Admiring You, which plays throughout the round. The limitless cursed energy causes Kinji's body to effectively use reverse curse technique to automatically heal any injury, making him temporarily unkillable after hitting a jackpot. That, and just as a side note, Hikari's RCT is stated to be so good that it is better than Gojo's and Sukuna when he is in this mode. Now on to Uraume. Uraume is a very old and experienced sorcerer who has existed for over 1,000 years. They boasted exceptional Jujutsu powers and utilization of multiple high-level techniques achieved with great control over their cursed energy. Her first technique that she showed was ice formation. Uraume's innate technique gives them the ability to create and manipulate ice. It can range from small to large quantities depending on the desired utilization. Her next technique is Frost Calm. Uraume channels a cloud of freezing mist from her mouth and blows it towards her opponent. The freezing mist materializes into large clumps of thick ice and frost into the interior of the enemy. This technique has shown to be specifically effective against a group of people, instantly freezing them and an entire squad of sorcerers in place. Icefall is also one of her techniques. After covering their hand in frost and touching the ground, Uraume can generate a large amount of spiked ice that can be controlled and float telekinetically through the air like swords. Now, the freezing ice its targets impact on raining down, sharpen icicles, skewer them as well. The attack is extremely dangerous, nearly subjugating a group of target all at once. He can also use RCT just as a side note, I guess. Now moving on to number 7. As for the two that I'm about to talk about right now, these two are absolute menace to the society. One of them being the first person to ever bypass Gojo's infinity and kill him, and the other sees literally kill the entire Zenin clan on her own. Yes, boys, we're talking about Maki Zenin and Toji Fushiguro. Both of these menaces have one thing in common, and that is they have heavenly restrictions, which boosts the user physical stats so much that they are unmatched in that department. I mean, you guys already saw what Toji can do, and Maki, after her sister's death, is equal to that Toji. Nothing else is needed to say for these two. Now on to our number 6. Yuta is one of the 4 special grade sorcerers recognized by Jujutsu High. While being haunted by the Rika's vengeful spirit, Yuta was immediately registered as a special grade due to Rika's immense power, making him the most recent person to do so and achieve the ranking the earliest. Yuta's immense cursed energy comes from his genetic relation to Michizane Sugarawa. It was only first manifested when he transformed a loved one into a cursed spirit. Rika becomes a vengeful spirit so powerful that Geto, an avid collector of curses, dubbed her the Queen of Curses. Rika's boundless cursed energy would be saved into any technique, allowing Yuta to use advanced curse techniques within a year of learning the fundamentals of Jujutsu. Yuta retains the massive amounts of curse energy that were unraveled by Rika's curse even after the spirit had passed on. His cursed energy capacity exceeds that even of Gojo Satoru. Yuzi and Choso could immediately feel that Yuta's volume of cursed energy was comparable with Gojo, with the former claiming it was even more creepy and ominous. Ryo, the Colingam player with the highest cursed energy output, felt Yuta's cursed energy and stated it was nearly bottomless. In addition to his superior reinforcement techniques, other testaments of Yuta's delicate control over his cursed energy, his mastery over his reverse cursed energy. His reverse curse technique is notoriously difficult to perform for sorcerers, but Yuta can use it repeatedly without issue. While not being on the level of Ryo, Yuta can unleash slashes without exceptional level of cursed energy with his attacks. A single swing of his cursed energy charged katana created a blast wave so powerful it completely annihilated an entire swarm of Kurochi's cockroaches. Yuta also has a unique ability to convert reverse curse energy into output and imbued his attacks with it as well. Yuta compensates for his small frame by strengthening himself with cursed energy. This reinforcement to his physical powers is enough to put him on par with Yuji's superhuman strength. While Yuji punched a car at Yuta, he was able to throw it back at him. A mere front kick to Yuji's head was enough to send him reeling back, and one backhand from Yuta knocked Choso out cold. And this was just Yuta without Rika. With Rika, Yuta is a complete beast as he allows him to copy cursed techniques and also provide him with a bottomless amount of cursed energy. At number 5, we have Hajime Kashimo. He is one of the strongest sorcerers Kenjaku came across 400 years ago. Although Kenjaku considered him to be inferior to Sukuna, he respected Hajime's strength and invited him to enter a binding wall to participate in the Culling Games. Even as an elderly man, Hajime could decimate entire battlefields. Electrified cursed energy, Hajime is one of the strongest players in the Culling game and likely possesses immense reserves of cursed energy. His cursed energy has properties of an electric current, putting his body in a constant state of electrification. This makes Hajime's cursed energy reinforced physical attacks impossible to defend against, as his hits shock the opponent upon impact. lightning discharge. Manipulating the characteristics of his cursed energy allows Hajime to freely separate his electric charges. By applying the positive charge to his target immediately, Hajime can discharge the negative charge without losing any electricity to the ground. This results in a powerful lightning strike that renders the air and is guaranteed to hit without a need of a domain expansion. After discharging this attack, Kashimo needs time to recharge before he can fire it again. Now on to Kashimo's most trump card, his most powerful Jujutsu technique, Mythical Beast Amber. Hajime's innate technique reconstructs flesh in order to manifest a phenomena that he converts from cursed energy. Hajime's body far surpasses the realm of a human using his technique, so he can only be once before his flesh collapses. In this mode, Kashimo made Sukuna use his hair and arrow form as a sign of respect. Now on to number 4, Kenjaku. Kenjaku is an ancient sorcerer who has accumulated a wealth of Jujutsu-related knowledge and experience over the course of thousands of years. His advanced understanding of Jujutsu sorcery is second to none, with numerous feats that he displayed his talent. As Noritashi Kamo and Kenjaku invented the Curse Womb that paintings became known as the most evil curse user in history. He is also the only person who knows how to turn a sorcerer into a cursed object after death, something not even Sukuna knew how to do during the Heian era. He is also the second most powerful barrier user after Tengen, recognized as one of the few sorcerers who can match him in barrier techniques. Kenjaku's innate technique allows him to swap bodies with another person, even if they are dead, by transmitting his brain into another body for his target. After the transplant, this technique leaves a scar running horizontally through the forehead. Kenjaku can remove the top part of their head to reveal his original brain. Once inside the body, Kenjaku gains an access to the host's cursed energy with all their innate techniques and memories. Even the Sixth Eyes cannot recognize him as an imposter, as he retains the host's cursed energy. Kenjaku can live more than 1,000 years thanks to his cursed technique while inhabiting different bodies, as shown with his uses of Kaori Itadori's technique fighting Choso and Yuki. It's been hinted that even after switching a body, Kenjaku retains access to the uses of his former host's innate curse techniques. Even if Kenjaku could collect different techniques from his previous host, there's a limit to how much his brain can store before overloading. Curse Spirit Manipulation, a technique where the user can summon and control naturally formed cursed spirits for a desired purpose. Due to gaining Getsu's body, Kenjaku can now utilize this technique as if it's his own innate technique. Thanks to this technique, Kenjaku has shown to have acquired numerous cursed spirits as his personal familiars. He has deployed them into the fight multiple opponents at once and bombarded them with a variety of cursed spirits and techniques that each curses possess. Kenjaku's another curse technique is anti-gravity, a curse technique that negates gravity when used. Kenjaku primarily uses a curse technique reversal for this ability, allowing him to intensify the gravitational pull around him. This technique originally belonged to Yuji's mother, Kaori Itadori. Reverse curse technique is also one of the things that Kenjaku can use to heal his entire body, even from death-like injuries. Womb Profusion is Kenjaku's domain expansion, as it builds a giant pillar of cursed spirits. It is an open barrier type domain similar to Malevolent Shrine. This is stated to be a divine feat, as it doesn't have a domain, and that there's also the effect of this domain, though it's guaranteed hit severely injured Yuki and a special grade Jujutsu sorcerer. Now on to our number 3, Gojo Satoru. Even among the special grade sorcerers, Satoru is known to be the strongest sorcerer in the series, holding both immense amount of cursed energy and a dangerously powerful curse technique. No one can seemingly match his level of skill in the battle in the current storyline, except for the King of Curses, Ryumin Sukuna. Satoru Gojo is well known within the Jujutsu Society as the strongest sorcerer in the world. He earned his allies due to the immense amount of cursed energy that he possesses and due to his innate technique, the Six Eyes, and the Limitless. The Limitless at the base level, Limitless is an innate technique which is derived from the Gojo family. This technique grants his user the absolute control over space through the curse technique manipulation at an atomic level, resulting in multiple subsequent results at the technique with the overall ability. With the manipulation of space as just at the basic level of the technique, Limitless has 3 standards and 1 non-standard from beyond this. But with the alone Limitless, Gojo wouldn't be as strong as he is. But with the Six Eyes, which grant him the precise control over his cursed energy, allowing him to use the Limitless to its full potential. No one could really even be a threat to Gojo in the series for the longest time, until the second and the first person in our list popped up. Let's move on to the second person in the list. The second person is Meguna, also known as Sukuna, who had taken over Megumi's body. For the longest time, Sukuna had shown interest in Megumi's body, but we get to find out why exactly later on, as he takes control over Megumi's body and masters his 10 Shadows technique. As in his battle against Gojo, Sukuna used Maharaga in such a way that he completely made a new type of attack that targets the entire space that a person is standing on, resulting in the death of Gojo Satoru. But he is weaker than his original form, who is at the number 1 of our list ranking today. Number 1 is Heian era Sukuna. Back in the golden age of Jujutsu, the Heian era, Ryumin Sukuna was feared and regarded and awed by all of those in his time as the most powerful sorcerer of the time, defeating and killing thousands of Jujutsu sorcerers even as they sharpened their skills against them. One of his feats includes single-handedly slaughtering the both Sun, Moon, Star and the 5 empty generals so early that they were unrecognizable as corpse. The most elite of the Fujiwara clan subjugation unit, leaving the authorities of Japan to utterly be terrified of Sukuna. And they were so terrified that they were willingly holding festivals to his honor. The impact Sukuna left on the history until he died earned him the title of the strongest sorcerer in history, as well as the King of Curses, regarded as the strongest cursed spirit in history. His strength is still held in high regard that even Gojo, the strongest Jujutsu sorcerer of the modern era, with his arrogance level of confidence and his pride in his abilities, acknowledged his strength and that a fight between the two that it would be very difficult for him to win. Sukuna possesses a vast levels of cursed energy due to his innate power, cementing his title as the King of Curses. He was able to continuously use his techniques throughout his battles without exhausting himself in the slightest. His reserves are cursed energy like the most transcended throughout the history, far surpassing special grade cursed spirit and the sorcerers like Yuta Kotsu, a special grade sorcerer who possesses even more cursed energy than Gojo, states that Sukuna has a double amount of cursed energy than he has. Sukuna also has absolute control over his cursed energy, being extremely proficient in both domain expansion and reverse curse technique, and capable of performing both flawless and repeated without an issue. Hajime Kashimo, one of the strongest sorcerers from 400 years ago, was astonished by Sukuna's mastery over his curse technique, displayed by his ability to seamlessly shift between domain amplification and his innate technique, to where he stated that if not for Gojo's Six Eyes, even Gojo Satoru would not be able to match Sukuna in terms of curse energy utilization. Sukuna's innate technique is Shrine, but we don't know much about it yet. All we know is Sukuna can use Cleave, Dismantle, and then fire ability called open. So let's dive into these abilities. Dismantle. Sukuna's default range slashing attack that is normally used for inanimate objects. However, it can also be used against cursed spirits and sorcerers to a great effectiveness. Using Maharaga's second adaptation to Limitless as a model, Sukuna learned to enhance Dismantle by extending its target to the world itself, transforming them into the slashes that cut the world. Cleave. A slashing attack that adjusts itself depending on the target's toughness and cursed energy level to cut them down in one fell swoop. Unless used in his domain expansion, Sukuna must make physical contact with the target in order to activate Cleave. Malevolent Shrine. Sukuna's domain expansion creates a Buddhist-like shrine decorated with skulls. Malevolent Shrine. Sukuna's domain expansion creates a Buddhist-like shrine decorated with skulls. Malevolent Shrine has a unique trait. It doesn't create a separate space using a barrier, but manifests the domain into real life, and that is said to be a godly feat. By making a binding wall of letting the target escape, Sukuna increases his domain range up to 200 meters. Now in his hero and arrow form, Sukuna also has 4 arms and 2 mouths, which allow him a great advantage over any other sorcerers, as by weaving hand signs, he can use or boost his curse techniques, domain, himself, and his physical power. And also by using incantations, he can boost his cursed energy output and also his cursed techniques output. By using all this, Sukuna is the strongest sorcerer to ever live in Jujutsu Kaisen. And this is the conclusion of our strongest list. So guys, comment down below, what do you think of this video? Which characters should have had added on, or which characters should not be deserved to be in this list at all? Or would the rankings of the characters be changed? I really want to hear your guys' comments on or thoughts on the comment section below. And while you're down there, go ahead and like the video and subscribe to the channel if you want to see more JJK content. Until then, I'll see you guys in the next video. Peace.